Okay, so now we're gonna talk about and construct step-by-step sequence that we would play in a set and explain our intention while building the sequence. Just first of all, to explain quickly what is a sequence. So sequence, what we call a sequence, is like a little chapter in the set, a little moment in the set that we're gonna work on even beforehand sometimes to try to execute something that is important for us. So it's, for example, how we switch from one moment to another moment. So let's say we're playing constantly record in a certain style, and we want to get out from this to do it with certain elegance. We're going to think about it even beforehand, or we want to play a special track that has a lot of character. So to make it as much beautiful and to make it shine as much as possible, we're going to create a little sequence around it of 4 to 6 tracks around it, 3 before, 3 after, for example, to make this track shine even more. And now we're going to start showing this sequence, and we're going to start with the record. And imagine that we are like in a classic deep sequence when we were playing our deep sound, and a little bit bleepy, but also with like a nice deep intention. And I'm gonna add on top of it, wait, let's first listen to the track alone. So we imagine we're at this moment in the set. Yeah, so as I said, like quite deep, quite bassy and powerful. And what we're trying now, on the next track, I'm gonna add moments that is add the dreamy part to Dev. So now it's like quite have a certain intensity, and I wanna go from just pure deep to deep and dreamy at the same time, and add a layer of dream to let people dream on the dance floor. Let me show you. So now let's listen the track that I added like alone. So what we can see is that there was this vocal before and those elements with also a vocal is quite similar that is played as an effect. That is also quite similar to the previous one. But here this one, the first one was a bit more dance floor and dancing oriented, where the second one, even with the break now, makes us want like more to like circulate. Still with a nice intention and keeping still the same tension and the same energy, but it was more like trippy and more like floaty and dreamy than the first one, which was a bit more straight in your face. But still keeping the same color and making it in a way that it's very elegant from the moment. The way to go from this track to this track seems like we don't feel any abrupt change. And now at that moment, like after listening this played, like OPH think about what's coming up next.
So next after that, so as Chami said, we went from something that was very straightforward, still deep, but like very driving, to something a bit more tamed, a bit more pumpy. So after this, knowing that the goal is to go to a track that is a bit more trippy and crazier, is to play actually with these added elements. So playing with percussions, playing with the textures, maybe adding some vocal. So what I'm going to do after this is I will have this track from Marco Schotto, which brings some percussions with also some lighter vocals on top, which keeps the vocal, like the vocal on this one, but they become a bit more present here. So we play more on the textures and the elements than on the groove itself. The reason also is to play with it. I'm also not gonna put the kick on this one. It's more like a additional element. The kick is gonna come from this one because which is from Feral, so it has a more low end, more body in the low end. So we keep also the low end from that track. So we don't break also the intensity of what's happening. So. All right, and from there, what would Chami do?
So basically what you could see also here, what was very interesting to show is how we used, of course, as OPH explained, a track just as a layer for the higher element, but still helped us make the transition and the combination to go to the last track, because the last track is also deep and trippy, but is way more stripped down in terms of sound. Like it gets emptier. And to avoid losing the energy, we use this track with like other elements, the vocals, and then the little very high pitched percussion to keep this kind of trippy energy that was floating around. And why we're going to a more stripped down track, it has a reason, is because after we want to play another track that is also quite stripped down, but it has a particularity, is that this is the track that is the perfect pre-track to play the final track that this sequence was built for. And for that, it's a track that's gonna have like a more empty sounds, like a rolling groove, very low rolling groove, but on a very light level, but still with like very intense vocals, which makes us feel like EBM vocals. Because the last track also has this EBM intention, and I wouldn't say it's an EBM track,
yeah.
but it has a lot of inspiration and elements from EBM used in it. So this track gonna help us go from a stripped down track to the last track that we want to play. And again, I know what we're saying sometimes is not like necessarily extremely clear, but what we're trying to show, to explain here, is really the intention, and that everything that we are doing, if it's improvised or not, or if it's thought before, it's intentional. We never put a record just randomly, just for the sake of putting the record. So let's go back to...
I will bring...
So as I said, this one also in terms of elements is also quite stripped down, but it brings an intensity in a different way, and it adds those vocals, trippy element. As I said, very EBM inspired, with always the tension going up, and then the sound goes quite high in terms of high and mid frequencies, and then suddenly gets stripped down again, and without like such a heavy bass. It's there, it's pumpy enough to keep some rhythm, but it's never something that was there as the intention to be the main element or the main showing element. Here, everything is like bringing the crowd into a very trippy moment where each sound design, that element that is sound design that appear, makes the crowd like very triggered and interested and curious about what is happening, and that helped us bring the last track of this sequence where we wanna arrive, that OPH is gonna play. And also the last track before we play it has something that you're gonna feel that it still has some trippy element, but it makes us slowly leave the trippy side of the set and add a little party moment. Like it's bringing a feeling of going out from all the super interesting sound that the crowd heard for a moment, and then suddenly breathe again and enjoy again the set
And also,
in a party feeling.
this is where we also, because we talked about tracks and songs before, so like we were more like layering tracks, using them for their sonic aspects, so like the bass, more like the mediums, and now we will play this one, like in the set, we will just leave it for a moment as well. We don't need to layer more on that one, it will be enough for itself.
So here again, on the last note, you could clearly feel that there was still like some connection with what was happening before with the elements that were on in the tracks, like especially the EBM-ish vocals part, the little trippy element, like those sounds that were like quite disturbing. But what we brought here with this last track is like a party bass line, something that wanted to make everybody shakes again and disconnect from this trippy moment and reconnect and reopen the eyes. And to be able to have the effect on the crowd intentionally like this is exactly what we're doing and what we're trying to do. And when we see the result on the crowd that works exactly like we want to or we envisioned, this is where we have like the best satisfaction while we are playing.
Yeah, no, totally. Like this, as you said, this is where having two mixers also comes into play. Because we work on the frequencies, and you saw that it was more about the bass and the blips, and then got more into the medium, high frequencies to come to a track that is like mostly mediums and highs. So that's also the additional benefits of the mixers.